This is CBeebies on YouTube. Find even more fun and games for your child at the CBeebies website.
Jackanory, Jackanory. Jackanory.
Tonight's story, from the Goodnight Book of Stories for Rebel Girls, is about a computer scientist called Grace Hopper. Once upon a time, there was a little girl called Grace. She loved everything there was to love about alarm clocks. She started taking apart all of the clocks that she could find and trying to put them back together so she could understand how they work. First one, then another, then the third. By the time she got to her 7th clock, her mum realised that there were no more clocks in the house and told her to stop. Grace kept tinkering with anything she found interesting, and eventually she became a professor teaching maths and physics. During the Second World War, she joined the Navy, like her grandfather, who was an admiral. Grace was assigned to work on a special project. "Come and meet Mark," they said. And she went into a room, but there was no people in the room. There was just a big computer. It was the computer that was called Mark, and it was the first computer that the Navy had had, so no one knew how to use it. But because Grace was so good at maths and physics, she started to study the computer. And it took a lot of hard work, but thanks to the programs that Grace wrote for the Mark the computer and all the successes that then followed, the US Army and Navy were able to decode secret messages sent by their enemies during the war. When she got older, Grace tried to retire, but they wouldn't let her. She was always called back because of how extraordinary she was at math and physics. She eventually became an admiral, just like her grandfather in the Navy. All of her life, Grace went to bed early and woke up at 5 a.m. because she was excited about working on computer coding and learning about how things worked. She never stopped being curious, and her incredible work led to the computer advancing the way it has. So Grace is responsible for all of the computers we see, iPads, laptops, and all those things we like to play with. That's the story of Grace Hopper, the computer scientist who joined the Navy and discovered how to make the Navy's computers work. And now, it's time for bed.
Story.